Happy, meaningful Easter. My poem, Why They Fight, dedicated to a non-violent, neighborly, culturally conscious world. Some preamble. The ideology behind the axiomatic belief that leads to the systematic elimination of groups of people can be traced back to the work of Reverend Thomas Malthus, 1766 to 1834. Thomas Malthus, an employee of the British East India Company, had determined that the world was too small for mankind, that mankind's population needs to be scaled back artificially. Francis Galton, 1822 to 1911, the cousin of Charles Darwin's, added to this theory on the strength of Darwin's theory of evolution by proposing that the culling of humanity should logically begin by eliminating the weakest elements of the society, such as the poor, the sick, the primitive elements, etc. His proposition became the doctrine of eugenics, which in turn was used by many agencies to shape the axioms of humanity to enable large-scale murder. Now the poem. As all celebrate life, New Year and Easter, it's time to ask the basic question for peace on earth. Why they fight? Support the truce for what? They fight out of rational and ancestral insecurity, who suddenly came to a new land as beholder of lost identity. They fight to maintain eugenic complex of superiority, letting others bear the burden of their supremacy. They become minority only to rule as majority, hijacking opposition prior to revolution maintains authority. They embrace a religion only to be the guardian, defaming egalitarian practices, glorifying feudal battalion. They fight because they are at cross with the old world, always busy planning, weeding out the originals, sometimes pause for peace only for new strategic uprisal. They fight because they like to kill, knowing well ancients are not their kith and kin, constantly building new weapons and tactics, only to kill more, precisely, accurately, mercilessly, ensuring domination of the old world by the new missionaries. They fight to display military might, ensuring colonial obedience out of fear for life. Jesus is for love and Hebrews for coexistence, but revelation in King James Bible is full of violence. They want to own all natural resources so they can mine and log without protests. They want to own all fertile lands of the world so they can dictate what to grow when for wealth. They want to rule every corner of the earth from their cozy abode using drones and robots, making us foot soldiers to fight against each other, killing brothers and sisters beyond border as they stay at the top of the food chain as nobles and elite lords. As we raise our voice for peace, they feel threatened to lose their grip on our God-given resources, loyal taxes and fees. Poems by Kolki. Now some postamble. Quote, in order to save the 40 million inhabitants of the United Kingdom from a bloody civil war, our colonial statesmen must acquire new lands for settling the surplus population of this country, to provide new markets. The empire, as I have always said, is a bread and butter question. Cecil Rhodes, British diamond and dynamite merchant, and the founder of the Rhodes Scholarship to achieve that goal. So, they fight to keep the emperor and expand their oligarchy, destroying natural democracy throughout history, creating virtual enemy. Now, think about the United Kingdom as including Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Belgium, Netherlands, Spain, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and Luxembourg. And accessories, including Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Dubai, Kuwait, Oman, Jordan, Bhutan, and Japan. Canadian military General Rick Hillier before going to Afghanistan. Quote, "We are the Canadian forces and our job is to be able to kill people," unquote, who were also in charge of NATO bombing against Libya. Why? Canada is a part of the British monarchy and Canadians are subjects of Her Majesty with loyalty for her colonization towards oligarchy. Behind the American kill team in Afghanistan, Marine Lieutenant General James N. Mattis, quote, "Actually, it's a lot of fun to fight. You know, it's a hell of a hoot. It's fun to shoot some people. I will be right up front with you. I like brawling. You go into Afghanistan, it's a hell of a lot of fun to shoot them," unquote. US Congressman Ron Paul, quote, "Only tyrants can take a nation to war without the consent of the people. The planned war against Iraq without a declaration of war is illegal. It is unwise because of many unforeseen consequences that are likely to result. It is immoral and unjust because it has nothing to do with US security and because Iraq has not initiated aggression against us," unquote. The final question, what is so great about Alexander? Would have been a worst war criminal, looter, rapist, betrayer, enslaver, persecutor, and mass annihilator by the present standard, causing endless diaspora in the peaceful ancient world and associated sufferings and miseries. God bless our world towards peaceful coexistence, realizing universal truth and appreciating justice.